Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a question from the IB Chemistry Paper 1HL from May 2019, and this is from time zone 2. Now, in this question, this is a stoichiometry question, as you can probably tell, and they've asked us, what is the volume of gas when the pressure on 100 centimeters cube of gas is changed from 400 kilopascals to 200 kilopascals at a constant temperature? Now, for such questions, where they have given you a specific value, and then they have told you that they have changed something to that. So in this case, they've told you they've changed the pressure from this to that, from 400 to 200 at a constant temperature, and they're asking you to determine what the volume is. When these type of questions, you only have to remember one formula if you want to solve this effectively. And it is very simple. The formula is pressure 1 times volume 1 divided by temperature 1 should be equal to pressure 2 times volume 2 divided by temperature 2. This is the formula. And you may be very confused. What is P1? What is P2? What is V1? What is V2? Pressure is P, volume is V, and temperature is T. But what is the 1? What is 1 and what is 2? This is basically the pressure that it was before and the pressure that it is after they've changed it. So in the case or in relation to our question, the pressure in the beginning is 400. The volume is 100, as they've told you. That's the initial volume. That's the initial. So 1 is the initial value. So the initial pressure, the initial volume, the initial temperature. And 2 is the pressure or the volume or the temperature after they have changed something. Now, in this case, the temperature remains constant. As they have mentioned, it doesn't change. The volume does change. That's why they've asked you to calculate what the volume will be. And the pressure, as you can see from the question, has changed. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what about the units? Is there any conversion? Because in the PV is equal to nRT, there's lots of conversion between different kinds of units. So you may be wondering, do we have to do something like that over here? Well, no, you don't. You don't have to convert from any units. You can keep any unit. It doesn't matter. But just remember one thing. Whichever units you use on the initial side, you must also use those units on the other side as well. You cannot have two different units for the same value. So for example, if you have calculated pressure in kilopascals on the left-hand side, you cannot suddenly put pressure as pascals on the other. That does not work. You have to ensure that the units are consistent on both sides for the values. And as you can see, they've given it to us on both sides as pascals. They've also asked us to calculate the volume of the gas in centimeters cubed, so that's not an issue. As for temperature, they have just told a constant temperature. It doesn't matter what units it is. So I'm just going to put it as 10 degrees because that just makes things easier, right? I'm just going to put it as 10. It's a constant temperature, doesn't change. And that's just up to your imagination. You can put 5, you can put 20, you can put 30, 40, whatever number suits you. But I would, of course, suggest you go for a number which makes it easier for you to calculate the final answer. And as we can tell from the question, the second pressure is 200 kilopascals after they have changed it. So it's 200. And the volume is what we need to calculate. So I'm going to put it as X because it's basic algebra. We'll rearrange it later. And the temperature is constant, doesn't change. It's still 10 degrees Celsius. Now, what do we have to do? Well, let's solve it. So remember just basic math. Bring this to this side. So multiply by this, multiply by this. So it becomes 400 times 100 times 10 is equal to 200 times 10 times X. So this is nothing but 400,000 is equal to 2000 X. And just solve for X. X is equal to 400,000 divided by 2000, cancel the zeros, that leaves us with X is equal to 400 divided by 2, which is equal to 200. And do we have a 200? Yes, we do. That is answer number C. That is it. That is it for this question. Boom. You've got 1 mark in the bag. That's simple. You can probably do this in 2 minutes in the, not even 2 minutes, a couple seconds in the exam. That's how easy it is. Just remember this formula: P1 times V1 over T1 is equal to P2 times V2 over T2. And remember to keep the units constant on both sides. Make sure the units are the same. You can't have pressure as one unit on one side and pressure as another unit on the other side. Just make sure the units are the same. Doesn't matter what units it is. Just make sure that it is consistent. That is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Very simple concept to understand, very easy to score marks, but you just have to practice it and get it right. And if you have any questions related to this concept or any other concept, please feel free to reach out to me on my social media or any other platform like YouTube. You can put it on the comments or email it to me and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you in another video with another question.